Paris cut up number 6. Out from the long hollow horn, refilling with Scotsmen, walked in the bog, he said, leaning Wilson. Tip of his tongue. Anton saw a tab and a long drink from Ills. Then he dragged his staggered off to his tent. Antisocial and unknown, sat down cross-legged and Scotch into his brass pack in the amber liquid in south, gathered together in a huddle, arms about each awaiting initiation. Bang as a firecracker broke, and the men began the beach towards the fire pit candles and smoky incense, men around the bend of glow that would be in order. How should take? One Rolf looking out over the top of churning black ocean, and from the west, on the night crash of the waves against flowing past his ears, was the beach, and on it had died down, and the pit glowing red coals. At the candles burned a large page, because no one under. I know that some of you first time, Burroughs started. We have some final ask that you remain in Benjamin Franklin, San Francisco. Albert Einstein died. Felipe Pinel was born. William Shakespeare. Cesar Chavez died. Dan Nettle was born. Jay Leno was born. William Randolph Rodney King riots erupt. Walpurgis Night. Secret founding of the Chapter Legion of Pleasant Hill, California. Attention, please, fellows. The men arranged themselves at Anton's left and right. Rolf was directly opposite the man who had called for the center. He looked normal among the wild. Greetings, everyone, he said, all here. I'm Gilbert Burroughs, and I'm organizer to get around the group camp and to protect our new heathen have been registered under the Wiggins Society. An extremely, Rolf, I pull that condom joke. Guffaw, really came over here for bit of the rapid aging brightened. Rolf was black as ink, and the initiates had reached the glide across the coals, incense to the altar, and Anton felt another shift from a work in progress. A semicircle rose from the group pipes and burning sticks of his coat pocket, realized that some of his own ritual stick of incense and the stub match cupping it against the incense and the candle. The go out this line of him. Again he focused scene sounds were rising the fire, vague, quiet, chanting drums, and the hint of sublime noises, and for the first time, second group of men on the complete, you will be guessed at it. It time for back into the circle clock, wise direction, and the shoulder of the fellow simultaneously leapt out, faggot! Then small groups, returning to the cook fire, Woods and several engaged in quiet, earnest of horseplay going on over liquor was beginning to flow, circulating around, handing Rorschach page, Night Rock. But we're on the beach, April Fools, Toshiro Mifune, Terence McKenna, Martin Luther King. Allen Ginsberg died. Raphael was born. Raphael died. David Letterman was Thomas Jefferson, was Margot Skinner, was Charlie Chaplin. One listens to what he say, stands what he says here this year, for you'll have to be initiate preparations to attend to camp. And then, when many do you think I said this stuff, Cliff? Anton could see the heavy clouds rushing in. He heralded the pondering sand and felt the wind 100 feet below him, a great fire pit. The flames covered with a floor of end of the pit. Many men were gathered in the candles. Smoke Anton reached into he had unconsciously placed therein. He removed a candle. He struck a strong wind and lit the flame, flickered, but did not incense, sent his attention on the beach, on the men grouped about, accompanied by beating flutes. He heard other because aware of a beach. They were to the circle like a football conducted to the beach. Our salute. Burrows, everyone turned, placed their right hand before them. They all forward one pace, and the circle dissolved off to various tents. Some, Gilbert Burrows, Jay, others heading off to discussion. There was in the kitchen area, and very freely. One guy was out tiny bits of something up into the sky. There were flare bursts in the air, light more, and exploded, struggled on, twisting, looked to Anton like lost a surreal battlefield in the ocean roar, where he felt melancholy, aware that someone was looking up. He saw that it over something you might, and he held his hand out, small package resting. Anton squinted at it, the foil-wrapped condom. You are one fuck of a attention, please, voice called out, and loose circle. Wheels was at Anton in the circle, attention. Stepped mainstream, assembled. I'm glad to see most of you know, gathering this attendance limits identity, half of auspices of the wealthy and fire-born traditional. In Los Angeles, Gerard Baldwin discord in present, the exploded rockets, V times in space. The ocean reflected like obsidian. Now fire pit. Each added his candles and melted into the larger group. Ha! Ha! Doubled over with laughter. All the guys. Guffawy. Actually, gah! When I was to see you needed it tonight, Anton, I do believe that some of a good bottle of single malt. Ritual planned for you tonight. What's her name? Someone chorously roared, hoarse laughter. Anton recognized him as of the bicycle messengers. He had extremely long, tangled hair and a large red nose. He was which had great ram's horns, jutting Roarshock page available in a special edition from Roarshock. Subscriptions $10 per, was weighing heavily on his weird when he came before his tent was Rolf. I brought you heed tonight, Rolf, said Anton. There was in the palm of his hand gloom, and recognized in a Rolf. He ejaculated on either side and watched the newcomers chanting, continued swirling further explosions, and the illuminating the beach with fireworks and flares were rising, an awful din as the shadows on the beach. The soldiers fighting their way included R. Hanch, D. Wilson, Hail Eris! All Roarshock page, available May 1. D.A. Wilson's chapbook, First and Other Poems, available from Anthropologist. The rest of you members of that cult, to Everyman's Club, commonly food, and be placed in the Great Hall, a big 12-man tent next to the heathen banners fluttering from it. As for ritual items, Anton had brought along candles, incense, and also followed Spectec's advice. Wheels, friend Ted, take a big bottle of old bush sleeve across his mouth. Anton was beginning to went to his own tent at the doorway. He poured cup and gazed at the failing light. There was a thunder. The little huddle in a staggered line up they clutched, fluttering in their hands. The coals separated into 2-candle altar behind there, and lucky character man, the star, any ritual items, burrows indicate cook area, with poles erected, been instructed bottle of mead. Discordia! This issue of you, goddess? The Bedlam in San Rafael, California, was assassinated in London. And brought gotta love, Burroughs continued, yelled, and a man stepped, perhaps, a great bushy, dark, deep set, wearing a helmet. Golden Land Information, North Beach Station, P.O. Box 330108, San Francisco, California 94133. Email goldenland@earth. Excuse me. Copyright 2000 DA. Like a Viking war helm he held in his hand, which he was continually of Guinness pub draft. I hear over the highlands looking for Pete. That's Celtic Braga, Spectec, Anton, and speaking quietly. No, North Beach Station. D.A. Wilson, 31 March 2018, Paris. Cut from the Roarshock page, Volume 2, Number 4.